What if I told you a simple 25-cent coin in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars, or even more? Today, we're diving into the top 5 most wanted, rare, and history-making U.S. state quarters. And trust me, these are not your ordinary coins. Because collectors around the world are hunting these exact quarters right now. And some people have unknowingly spent them like loose change. Let's start with a coin that celebrates American heritage. The Kentucky State Quarter, 2001, featuring the iconic thoroughbred horse in a historic mansion. But here's the twist. Some rare versions have mint errors that can skyrocket their value. If you spot one with unusual markings or double strikes, you might be holding a hidden treasure. Next up, the North Carolina State Quarter, 2001, honoring the Wright brothers' first flight. This coin made history. But a few rare error coins made collector history too. Off-center strikes and missing details. That's where the real money is. Now get ready for something surprising. The Indiana State Quarter, 2002, known for its racing theme. But did you know? Certain high-grade versions and error coins have sold for hundreds, to thousands. Especially those with sharp details and know where collectors love them. Moving on. The Maine State Quarter, 2003, featuring a lighthouse and ship. Sounds simple, right? But rare proof errors and unusual finishes have made some of these coins extremely valuable. A small detail can mean a big payday. And finally, the one that shocked collectors. The Texas State Quarter, 2004, bold, iconic, and one of the most searched coins today. Some rare variants and mint condition coins have reached insane values, making this a true history maker in the coin world. But here's the crazy part. Most people don't even check their coins. These valuable quarters are still out there, hiding in pockets, drawers, and coin jars. And most importantly, these coins can make you a millionaire overnight. For example, in 1999 Georgia State Quarter on experimental metal sold for $10,000 at an auction. You may also have a similar coin, so watch the video carefully. So before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look, because the next coin you find could change everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because your next coin could be worth a fortune. Welcome, coin collectors, history hunters, and treasure seekers. Because today we are diving headfirst into one of the most jaw-dropping, conversation-starting, and downright electrifying coins ever to emerge from the United States Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program. The 2001 Kentucky State Quarter, a coin so deeply steeped in American heritage, so explosive in collector demand, and so riddled with rare varieties and shocking error coins that even seasoned numismatists still lose sleep over the ones that slip through their fingers. And if you think you know everything about this stunning piece of American coinage, buckle up, because what we're about to reveal will completely shatter everything you thought you knew. Strewn across 3 Mighty Mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and the ultra-prestigious San Francisco Mint, the 2001 Kentucky Quarter entered circulation as the 37th coin in the groundbreaking 50 State Quarters program, a series that single-handedly reignited America's passion for coin collecting and drove tens of millions of ordinary citizens to start hunting through their change with a burning, almost obsessive intensity. And the Kentucky Quarter was no exception, featuring the iconic design of a thoroughbred racehorse standing proudly in front of a sprawling federal-style mansion, framed by the words, "My Old Kentucky Home," a breathtaking tribute to the bluegrass state's legendary equestrian culture and its timeless place in American identity. But here's where things get dangerously exciting. Because while hundreds of millions of these quarters were produced for everyday circulation, the coins that make collectors absolutely lose their minds are the rare, the error-struck, and the meticulously graded gem specimens that have fetched staggering prices at elite auction houses like Heritage Auctions in Stack's Bowers. And we're going to walk you through every single shocking detail right now. The Philadelphia Mint struck an absolutely colossal 353 million business strike quarters bearing the 2001P designation, a mintage so enormous it seems to dwarf any notion of rarity. But don't let those numbers fool you for even a single second, because the coin collecting world operates on a principle that strikes most newcomers as nothing short of astonishing. Out of hundreds of millions of coins produced, only a tiny, almost laughably small fractions survive in the kind of flawless, pristine gem-quality condition that sends PCGS and NGC graders into fits of excitement. And when a 2001P Kentucky Quarter comes back certified MS68 or higher from PCGS or NGC, that's a mint state grade so close to theoretical perfection that it almost defies belief that coin transforms overnight from a quarter that once bought a gumball into a genuinely rare numismatic trophy that serious collectors will fight tooth and nail to acquire. And certified examples in those elite upper mint stake grades have appeared at auction, commanding prices that dwarf their face value by factors so large they seem almost impossible. Proving that rarity is never just about mintage, it's about survival, and survival in perfect condition is rarer than most people ever dare to imagine. Over at the Denver Mint, the story gets even more heart-pounding, because the 2001D Kentucky Quarter was produced to the tune of 370,564,000 coins. Another monster mintage that flooded cash registers, piggy banks, and jacket pockets across the entire United States. And yet, just like its Philadelphia sibling, the certified gem population in the highest mint stake grades is shockingly, almost criminally low, meaning that any collector fortunate enough to land a PCGS or NGC graded 2001D Kentucky Quarter in MS67 or MS68 condition is holding something that the vast majority of collectors will never ever own. And that exclusivity, that sense of holding something that almost no one else can claim, is precisely what drives the collector market into a frenzy and sends auction room temperatures skyrocketing whenever one of these elite specimens crosses the block. But if the business strike coins are thrilling, the 2001S proof Kentucky Quarter from the San Francisco Mint is nothing short of absolutely mupping, because the San Francisco Mint produced these specially struck proof coins exclusively for collector sets, polishing the planchets to a mirror-like brilliance in striking each coin with painstaking precision using specially prepared dies, resulting in coins of such extraordinary beauty and technical perfection that they seem almost too magnificent to be real money. The deep cameo-proof examples, with their frosted, almost three-dimensional devices floating against those impossibly reflective mirror fields, are the kind of coins that stop collectors dead in their tracks, make their hands shake slightly, and remind them exactly why they fell in love with numismatics in the first place. And when a 2001S Kentucky Quarter comes back from PCGS or NGC graded PR70 DCAM, that's a perfect, flawless specimen that the graders themselves declare cannot be improved upon in any conceivable way. The prices those coins command at auction are the stuff of collector legend. With heritage auctions and Stack's Bowers records showing that perfect grade proof specimens regularly astonish bidders who came prepared but still weren't quite ready for the final hammer price. Now, here is where this story takes a turn that will make every single coin roll hunter and pocket change checker in our audience sit up straight and pay very close attention. Because among the most electrifying and frankly earth-shattering discoveries in the entire 2001 Kentucky Quarter universe are the spectacular error coins, the minting mistakes that somehow slipped past quality control and escaped into the wild, where they waited patiently in pocket change and coin rolls until a quick-thinking collector spotted something that didn't look quite right and realized, with a rush of adrenaline that no lottery ticket can replicate, but they were holding something extraordinary, and the 2001 Kentucky Quarter produced some of the most dramatic, conversation-stopping errors in the entire 50-state quarters series, including die cracks, die cuts, and the absolutely legendary extra leaf variety that has driven collectors to the absolute brink of obsession. While the extra leaf variety is more prominently associated with the Wisconsin Quarter from the same year, die cracks and other dramatic striking anomalies on the Kentucky Quarter have produced certified error coins that heritage auctions and Stack's Bowers have sold for prices that make grown adults gasp out loud. Because an error coin, a genuine verified certified mistake that proves even the most powerful and precise minting operation on earth is not infallible, is not just a coin. It is a one-of-a-kind historical artifact, a frozen moment of magnificent imperfection. And collectors will pay absolutely extraordinary sums to own that kind of irreplaceable piece of minting history. The historical backdrop that makes the 2001 Kentucky Quarter so extraordinarily compelling goes far beyond the mechanics of minting and grading. Because this coin was struck at a genuinely pivotal moment in American numismatic history. The 50-State Quarters program, launched in 1999 under the United States Mint's direction and authorized by Congress through the 50 States Commemorative Coin Program, had already proven itself to be the most successful coin program in American history by the time Kentucky's Quarter reached production, with the United States Mint reporting that the program had pulled an almost incomprehensible number of Americans back into the habit of actually looking at their coins, really looking at them, appreciating the artistry and the history packed into every tiny disc of metal, and the Kentucky design created to celebrate the Commonwealth's equestrian legacy, its rolling bluegrass fields, and its deeply cherished cultural identity captured something authentic and beautiful about one of America's most storied states, making this coin not just a collectible but a genuine piece of Americana that resonates with collectors who have never set foot in Kentucky, just as powerfully as it does with proud Kentuckians who grew up hearing My Old Kentucky Home at every derby morning of their lives. For collectors wondering right now what this coin is actually worth and whether it's time to start hunting, the answer is nuanced but unmistakably exciting. Circulated examples of the 2001 P&D business strikes are face value coins for all practical purposes. And that is absolutely fine. Because they serve an important gateway function, they remind new collectors that every single coin in circulation once had the potential to survive in pristine condition, and the ones that did are now worth dramatically more than their humble origins suggest. Lightly circulated to about uncirculated examples can be acquired for modest premiums, while certified MS65 examples represent a sweet spot of quality and value that savvy collectors love to target. The real fireworks, the truly heart-stopping numbers, happen in MS67 and above, where certified populations shrink to numbers so small that individual examples can trade hands at prices that seem almost fictional compared to the 20 cents stamped on their face. And for those chasing the proof side of the market, APR69DCAM is already a spectacular and highly desirable coin. But a certified PR70DCAM is the kind of acquisition that goes directly into a collector's Hall of Fame, the coin they will tell stories about for the rest of their new life. So this coin has something extraordinary to offer you. Smash that like button until your thumb hurts. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a single discovery we make together. Welcome, fellow treasure hunters and coin fanatics, to the channel where ordinary pocket change transforms into extraordinary history, because today, we are diving deep into one of the most electrifying, jaw-dropping, and criminally underrated coins of the entire 50-state quarters program. A series that shook the numismatic world to its very core when the United States Mint unleashed it upon an unsuspecting American public beginning in 1999. And the coin we are spotlighting today is none other than the staggering, the breathtaking, the utterly magnificent 2001 North Carolina State Quarter. A coin that carries within its tiny copper and nickel frame an entire world of colonial drama, revolutionary fire, aviation glory, and collector obsession that most people walking past it in a store or dumping it into a parking meter have absolutely zero idea about. So buckle up, and do not you dare touch that back button, because what you are about to discover could change the way you look at every single quarter in your possession, forever. The 2001 North Carolina State Quarter was struck at two primary mint facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. And when you look at the raw mintage numbers alone, your eyes will widen because Philadelphia produced an almost incomprehensible 1,594,616,000 coins, while Denver struck an equally colossal 1,409,500,000 pieces, making the combined output of this quarter reach nearly 3 billion coins, a figure so astronomically large that you might assume this coin holds zero value whatsoever. But here is where the story explodes into collector gold territory. Because within that mountain of circulation strikes lurks a universe of conditionally rare gems, die varieties, era coins, and proved treasures that have sent serious numismatists into an absolute frenzy at auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, where top-grade examples of the 2001P and 2001D North Carolina Quarter certified by PCGS and NGC in pristine MS67 and MS68 grades have commanded prices that would make your jaw hit the floor. With Heritage Auctions records showing PC, GS, MS67 examples trading at figures dramatically above their face value, as population reports reveal that at the absolute highest grades, these coins become genuinely scarce and breathtakingly difficult to locate. And now, let us talk about what makes this coin visually and historically devastating in the most spectacular way. Because the reverse design, created by the extraordinarily talented John Flanagan and refined for this commemorative issue, depicts the legendary Wright brothers' first powered flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina on December 17, 1903, one of the single most important moments in all of human civilization. Showing Orville Wright's fragile biplane lifting off the sandy dunes of the Outer Banks while Wilbur Wright races alongside on foot, a scene so historically charged, so emotionally electric, so absolutely packed with the spirit of human ambition and triumph that it makes the 2001 North Carolina Quarter not just a coin, but a tiny metallic monument to the moment humanity conquered the skies. And beneath that immortal image, the inscription reads, "First Flight," in letters that send chills down the spine of any serious history lover. While the reverse also proudly displays the Tar Heel State, honoring North Carolina's fierce and legendary identity. A state that was the first to instruct its delegates to vote for independence from Britain in April 1776. making North Carolina's revolutionary courage every bit as breathtaking as the aeronautical miracle commemorated on this coin. But here is where collectors need to sit down and pay very close attention, because beyond the circulation strikes, the United States Mint also produced stunning proof examples at the San Francisco Mint bearing the coveted S-Mint marked woodclad proof mintages, and the extraordinarily rare silver-proof versions struck in 90% silver that have become absolute holy grail pieces for dedicated registry set builders. With top-grade P, CGS, PR7, OD, CAM, and NG-CPF 7.0. Ultra Cameo, examples representing the absolute pinnacle of perfection and commanding serious premiums in the collector marketplace. And if you are fortunate enough to own or encounter a 2001 silver, proofed North Carolina quarter in a PR70 holder, you are holding something that belongs in a display case and not a coin jar. And then we arrive at the error coin universe, the wild frontier of numismatics, where the truly spectacular discoveries live. Because among the billions of 2001 North Carolina quarters struck die-cap errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, bi-cracks, and double-die varieties have all been documented and authenticated, and a well-struck dramatic off-center error, or a certified double-die obverse example of this quarter, can transform a coin worth 25 cents into a collector piece worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and appeal of the error. Which is precisely why every single numismatist worth their salt keeps a loop in their pocket and examines every state quarter they encounter, because lightning does strike, treasure does hide in plain sight, and the next coin you touch could be a coin that makes headlines. So whether you are a seasoned collector building a complete high-grade 50-state quarter registry set, a history lover captivated by the story of the Wright brothers and North Carolina's revolutionary soul, or a newcomer just beginning the most addictive and rewarding hobby in the world, the 2001 North Carolina State Quarter demands your attention, your respect, and a permanent home in your collection. Because this is not just 25 cents, this is American history pressed into metal. This is the spirit of flight captured in coin form. This is a reminder that the most extraordinary stories are sometimes hiding in the most ordinary places. And if you found this deep dive as electrifying as we did, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single treasure hunt. Drop your thoughts about the 2001 North Carolina quarter in the comments below. And stay right here, because our next video is going to blow your mind all over again. We will see you there. Stop right there. Before you spend that 2001 North Carolina State quarter, or toss it into a jar and forget about it forever. You absolutely need to watch this video, because the difference between selling this coin the wrong way and selling it the right way could mean the difference between getting a humiliating 25 cents and walking away with hundreds of dollars in your pocket. And here is exactly how the smartest collectors and sellers squeeze every single dollar of maximum value out of this coin. First, and most critically, before you sell anything, get your coin graded and certified by PCGS or NGC, the two most powerful and respected grading services on the planet. Because a raw, ungraded coin sitting in a flip will always sell for a fraction of what a certified population report backed example commands at auction. If your 2001 North Carolina quarter grades MS 67 or higher, or PR70D CAM on the proof side, you are now holding a coin that serious registry set collectors will fight over. Second, never ever sell to a local coin shop first without doing your homework, because dealers buy low and sell high, and that is their business. So instead, take your certified coin directly to Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, the two most explosive and high-traffic numismatic auction platforms in the world, who are motivated collectors bid against each other and drive prices to their absolute ceiling. And if you have an error coin, an off-center strike, a die cap, a dramatic double die, those platforms will turn your error into a headline and your headline into serious cash. Third, check the PCGS Coinfax and NGC price guide before accepting any offer from any buyer, so you know exactly what your coin is worth and no one can lowball you into a bad deal. Follow these 3 steps. Protect your coin in quality holders. Photograph it in natural light, describe it accurately, and list it where the most passionate buyers live, and you will extract every last dollar this magnificent coin deserves. Like and subscribe for more money-making coin secrets. We are cracking open one of the most jaw-dropping, shockingly underrated coins in the entire 50-state quarters program, the 2002 Indiana State Quarter, a coin that millions of Americans casually tossed into tip jars, lost in couch cushions, and traded away without a single clue that hiding beneath that ordinary silver surface is a numismatic story, so explosive, so layered with history, rarity, and staggering auction value, that collectors across the world are frantically hunting for the finest examples right now. And if you have ever held one of these quarters in your hand, you need to stay locked in for every second of this video, because what you are about to Learn might absolutely change everything you thought you knew about pocket change. The 2002 Indiana State Quarter was the 19th coin released in the United States Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program, a program that launched in 1999 and single-handedly reignited the fire of coin collecting across an entire generation of Americans, drawing in an estimated 147 million new collectors at its peak. Numbers that the hobby had never seen before and may never see again in Indiana. The Hoosier State proudly took its place in this historic lineup on August 2, 2002, with a design that is deceptively simple yet absolutely bursting with meaning. The reverse of the 2002 Indiana State Quarter features an outline of the state of Indiana itself, boldly stamped into the center of the coin, flanked by 19 stars representing Indiana's status as the 19th state admitted to the Union on December 11, 1816, a moment in American history when the young republic was still finding its footing, still expanding its destiny westward into the vast American frontier, and front and center. Cutting across the state outline is the dramatic silhouette of an Indianapolis Motor Speedway race car, a tribute to the Indy 500, one of the most famous and electrifying sporting events on the face of the earth, a race that has been roaring around that 2.5-mile oval since 1911, drawing millions of breathless spectators and cementing Indiana's identity as the racing capital of the world. And the inscription beneath simply reads, "Crossroads of America." Indiana's official state motto since 1937, a phrase that captures the state's extraordinary geographic importance as the convergence point of more interstate highways than any other state in the nation. All of this meaning, all of this history, compressed into a coin barely larger than your thumbnail, and yet most people never gave it a second glance. Now let's talk about mintage figures, because this is where things start to get genuinely exciting for any serious collector. The Philadelphia Mint struck an absolutely colossal 362,600,000 business strike examples of the 2002 Indiana Quarter. 362.6 million coins, a number so astronomically large that it seems to utterly destroy any notion of rarity. And yet, here is the stunning truth that separates casual observers from serious numismatists. Sheer mintage means almost nothing when it comes to determining which individual examples command breathtaking prices at auction, because the overwhelming majority of those 362 million coins circulated relentlessly, rattling around cash registers, vending machines, and laundry rooms accumulating bag marks, contact scratches, rim dings, and the kind of surface abuse that strips a coin of its collector value completely, meaning that a true Gemquati Mint State example of the 2002 Indiana Quarter win MS67 or higher is exponentially rarer than those raw mintage numbers would ever suggest. The Denver Mint contributed an equally staggering 327,200,000 business strike examples, marked with the non-iconic D-Mint mark, bringing the combined Philadelphia and Denver business strike total to nearly 690 million coins. And yet, at PC and NGC population reports, coins grading MS67 and above remain genuinely elusive, with MS68 examples representing the kind of discovery that makes seasoned collectors stop dead in their tracks. Then there is the San Francisco Mint, which produced the proof versions of the 2002 Indiana Quarter in two breathtaking formats: the standard clad proof, with a reported mintage of 3,084,245 pieces, and the extraordinary silver proof, struck in 90% pure silver with a mintage of just 888,826, and it is these silver-proof examples, especially those grating PR70 deep cameos, that ignite bidding wars among collectors who understand the profound combination of precious metal content, flawless execution, and extreme gem-grade scarcity that these coins represent. But wait, because we have not even touched the single most electrifying category in the entire 2002 Indiana Quarter story: the error coins, the spectacular mistakes, the minting anomalies that transform an otherwise common circulation quarter into a numismatic hand grenade. The most notorious and jaw-dropping error associated with the 2002 Indiana State Quarter is the so-called extra leaf, or die crack, and doubling variety, where the intense stress of the coin press, operating at thousands of strikes per hour, created dramatic doubling on design elements and in some cases catastrophic die cracks that dramatically altered the coin's appearance. And when these error coins surface in high grades certified by PCGS or NGC with full details and confirmed attributions, they generate auction results that leave bidders breathless. Die clash errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and wrong planchet errors are all documented for this issue, with off-center strikes at 10%, 15%, and even dramatic 50% misalignments having surfaced in the marketplace. And any such piece certified by the top grading services represents a coin that can command premiums of hundreds or even thousands of dollars above its face value for a coin that was originally worth exactly 25 cents? Let's talk real auction results, because nothing drives home the astonishing potential of this coin like documented hammer prices. Certified examples of the 2002 Indiana quarter grading MS67 have sold through heritage auctions and stacks, Bowers galleries in the range of $20 to $75, depending on eye appeal and specific population at the time of sale. While the truly exceptional MS68 examples coins so flawlessly struck, with such explosive luster and razor-sharp detail that they look as though they were struck mere moments ago, have crossed the auction block for figures that stagger the imagination when compared to their face value, with heritage auctions records documenting top-tier examples, fetching significant premiums that remind every collector why grade is everything and eye appeal is king. The 2002 silver-proof deep cameo examples grading PR70DCAM have sold for prices that reinforce the extraordinary demand for perfection-grade modern coinage, with pristine examples regularly appearing in major auction events and drawing competition from both registry set builders, those obsessive, passionate collectors who compete relentlessly to assemble the single finest certified set of state quarters in existence, and precious metals enthusiasts who recognize the intrinsic silver value layered beneath the collectible premium. The PCGS registry and NGC registry sets for the 50 state quarters program represent one of the most fiercely competitive arenas in modern numismatics, where a single coin 1 point higher on the grading scale can mean the difference between first place and anonymity. And the Indiana quarters, particularly the silver-proof PR70 DCAM examples, are among the coins where top registry competitors have invested the most aggressively, scouring major auction houses, private sales, and dealer inventories with relentless determination to secure the finest known examples. For the collector who is just beginning their journey into state quarters, or for the experienced numismatist looking to add a genuinely compelling piece to an established collection, the 2002 Indiana State Quarter offers something for every level of the hobby, from circulation finds pulled out of pocket change that can serve as entry-level collectibles to showcase the beauty of America's commemorative coinage program, all the way up to certified gem mint state and proof examples that represent serious long-term numismatic investments in a coin series that continues to appreciate in collector interest with every passing year. The key to unlocking maximum value in this coin, as with every coin in the State Quarters program, lies in 3 uncompromising pillars: certification by PCGS or NGC, the 2 most trusted and respected third-party grading services in the world. Grade, with MS67, MS68, PR69, and PR70, representing the stratospheric upper tier where true premiums live. And I appeal, that ineffable, electric quality of a coin that simply stops you cold when you look at it. The kind of luster that seems to pulse from beneath the surface. The kind of strike so sharp that every feather on the eagle, every star in the field, every letter in the inscription stands at absolute military attention. And when you combine all 3 of those elements in a single 2002 Indiana State Quarter, what you have is not just a coin, it is a time capsule, a piece of American racing history, a monument to the Hoosier State's extraordinary legacy, and a collectible that demands respect from every corner of the numismatic world. So whether you are sorting through a coin roll, reviewing a certified collection, or placing bids at the next major Heritage or Stack's Bowers auction event, never dismiss the 2002 Indiana State Quarter as just another common modern coin. Because in the right grade, with the right certification, and in the right room full of the right collectors, this coin is anything but ordinary. If you found this video informative and genuinely exciting, smash that like button right now, and make sure you hit subscribe. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most breathtakingly stunning and criminally underestimated coins in the entire 50 State Quarters program, the 2003 Maine State Quarter. And I am telling you right now, if you think this is just another ordinary pocket change coin sitting forgotten in a dusty jar on your shelf, you are dead wrong. Because what we are about to uncover together is a numismatic story, so explosive, so packed with hidden value, shocking rarity, and jaw-dropping auction results that by the end of this video, you are going to be tearing through every coin you own with fresh eyes and a pounding heart. So stay with me every single second, because we are just getting started. The 2003 Maine State Quarter was the 23rd coin released in the historic United States Mint 50 State Quarters program, a program that ran from 1999 to 2008 and fundamentally transformed the way ordinary Americans looked at their pocket change forever. And Maine's entry into this legendary series was struck at 2 mint facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, producing a staggering 217,400,000 coins bearing the iconic P Mint mark, and the Denver Mint hammering out an equally colossal 231,400,000 coins with the D Mint. But here is where things get dangerously interesting, and where most collectors make the catastrophic mistake of dismissing this coin entirely. Because raw production numbers mean absolutely nothing when you start digging into what actually survived in genuinely high grades. And the truth about Mint State survivors and MS67 and above will absolutely shatter everything you thought you knew about this coin's scarcity. The obverse of the 2003 Maine quarter features the timeless Portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, a design so iconic it has graced the quarter dollar since 1932. But the reverse is where Maine truly announces itself to the world, with a design that was approved after a meticulous selection process involving the citizens of the great state of Maine themselves. And what the United States Mint produced is nothing short of a masterpiece in miniature, a dramatic depiction of the Pemaquat Point Lighthouse, one of the most photographed and historically significant lighthouses on the entire eastern seaboard, standing proud and resolute on a rugged, rocky coastline with a majestic tall ship sailing in the distance across open waters, and the inscriptions reading Maine, 1788, commemorating the year Maine achieved statehood as the 23rd state in the Union, and the quarter dollar denomination, completing a design that is frankly more detailed and more artistically ambitious than anything circulating coinage had attempted in decades. Now let us talk about what makes certain examples of this coin so outrageously desirable that serious collectors and registry set builders are willing to pay prices that would make your jaw hit the floor. Because when PCGs and NGC population reports are examined with a trained eye, the number of 2003P and 2003D Maine quarters graded MS67 or higher by either major grading service is genuinely, shockingly small relative to the hundreds of millions produced, and that brutal attrition from the mint bag to the highest certification tiers is exactly what separates a coin worth $1 from a coin worth hundreds or even potentially thousands of dollars in the right condition. And Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have both cataloged examples of ultra-high-grade Maine quarters that have commanded eye-watering premiums at auction, because the moment you put a perfectly struck, fully lustrous, absolutely flawless gem example of this coin in front of a room full of competitive collectors bidding against each other, the price discovery process can produce results that defy all conventional logic about a coin from a mintage in the hundreds of millions, and that is the beautiful, heart-stopping paradox of modern United States coinage that keeps this hobby so electrifying. The proof versions of the 2003 Maine quarter deserve their own moment in the spotlight because the San Francisco Mint produced both the standard clad proof with S Mint mark and the vastly more coveted 90% silver proof version, and in deep cameo or ultra cameo grades at the PR70 level, certified examples of the silver proof 2003 Maine quarter represent some of the most visually spectacular coins in the entire state quarter series, with frosted devices rising like a three-dimensional sculpture from mirror-bright fields so perfectly reflective they look like liquid mercury frozen in time. And collectors who have been fortunate enough to hold a PCGSPR 70 Deep Cameo or an NGCPF 70 Ultra Cameo Silver Maine quarter in their hands know exactly what I am talking about when I say this is a coin that commands reverence. But perhaps the most electrifying conversation in the entire world of 2003 Maine quarters surrounds the error coins, because like every issue in the state quarters program, the Maine quarter generated its share of mint errors that now trade as genuine numismatic treasures, including dramatic die cracks and die breaks that can create spectacular, retained coups along the coin's edge or bisecting the reverse design in ways that are utterly unique to individual dies. Off-center strikes that partially or dramatically shift the design away from center while the planchet remains fully struck, producing visually stunning results. And the most sensational of all, the broad strike errors, the wrong planchet errors, and the double die varieties that sharp-eye collectors have been hunting through circulation finds and original mint bags for over 2 decades. And while documented major double die varieties on the 2003 Maine are not as dramatically publicized as some other state quarter issues, the hunt itself is part of what makes this coin so endlessly compelling to the dedicated variety collector armed with a loupe and an obsessive eye for detail. The collecting landscape for the 2003 Maine state quarter spans a remarkable range of budgets and collecting philosophies, from the casual enthusiast who simply wants a pristine, uncirculated example from a mint, set to display alongside the complete 50-state quarter collection, all the way up to the fiercely competitive registry set collector who will stop at absolutely nothing to secure the single finest known certified example of a particular variety and mint mark combination. And it is in that upper echelon where this coin truly becomes something extraordinary. something that transcends its humble origins, as everyday circulating coinage and transforms into a genuine numismatic trophy. So here is what I need you to do right now. If you have 2003 Maine quarters in your collection, do not sleep on them for another single day. Pull them out. Examine them under proper magnification with good lighting. Check those mint marks. Study those devices. Look at that lighthouse and that ship with fresh and educated eyes, because you could be sitting on something genuinely special. Something that a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC would certify as a condition rarity worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you are just starting your state quarter collection or looking to add a high-grade certified example of the 2003 Maine quarter to your registry set, the time to act is always now, because the finest examples only get harder to find and more expensive with every passing year as collectors recognize what the raw mintage numbers have been obscuring all along: the undeniable, thrilling, market truth that great coins are hiding in plain sight. And the 2003 Maine State Quarter is living proof of exactly that. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another deep dive into the coins that matter. Drop your questions and your own Maine quarter finds in the comments below, because I read every single one, and I will see you in the next video. Listen very carefully, because what I am about to tell you could be the difference between walking away with a few cents and walking away with a check that shocks you. If you are sitting on a 2003 Maine State Quarter and you want absolute top dollar, the single most important thing you must do before you even think about selling is get that coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, because a raw, ungraded Maine quarter sitting in a flip is worth almost nothing to a serious buyer. But that exact same coin, in a PCG SMS 67 or NGC MS 67 holder, transforms overnight into a certified condition rarity that collectors and registry set builders will aggressively compete to own. And that competition is precisely what drives prices into ranges that will leave you speechless once graded. Never ever sell privately for a quick lowball offer. Instead, submit your coin directly to Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where the entire global collector community is watching, bidding, and fighting each other for the finest certified examples. Because auction is where true market value is discovered, and where a single determined bidder can push the hammer price far beyond any disprice listing you would ever post on eBay or a coin forum. Speaking of eBay, if you must sell there, list it as a 7-day auction with no reserve during peak evening hours on a Sunday. Use crystal clear high resolution photographs showing both the obverse and reverse under proper lighting that captures every bit of that original mint luster, and write a title that includes every keyword a serious buyer searches for, including the date, mint mark, grade, and certification number if you have the silver proof version. Graded PR70 Deep Cameo by PCGS or NGCPF 70 Ultra Cameo. Treat that coin like the absolute treasure it is and send it straight to a major auction house without a second thought, because that is where it will fetch the most aggressive and the most jaw-dropping price. What if I told you that sitting inside an ordinary pocket, a forgotten coin jar, or buried deep inside your grandmother's old change drawer, there could be a quarter, a single, unassuming, 25-cent piece that is secretly worth hundreds, potentially even thousands of dollars to the right collector? And we are talking about the legendary, jaw-dropping, absolutely iconic 2004 Texas State Quarter. One of the most electrifying and talked about coins in the entire 50-state program. A coin with a story so rich, so deeply woven into American identity, that numismatists and hardcore collectors across this country cannot stop hunting for it. The 2004 Texas State Quarter was the 32nd coin released in the United States. Mint's wildly popular 50-state quarters program. A program that single-handedly reignited America's obsession with coin collecting and turned millions of ordinary Americans into passionate numismatists almost overnight. And when the Texas Quarter hit circulation in June of 2004, the response was nothing short of electric, because this wasn't just a coin. This was a monument, a tiny metallic tribute to the Lone Star State, one of the most historically thunderous, culturally explosive, and fiercely proud states in the entire Union. The reverse design, created by sculptor Norman E. Namath, is a masterpiece of minimalist power. The unmistakable, 5-pointed Lone Star of Texas dominates the center of the coin in glorious, breathtaking fashion, flanked on the left by a dramatic outline of the great state of Texas itself, and on the right by a lariat rope that loops beneath the star and forms a striking circular frame, tying together themes of cowboy culture, frontier spirit, and the indomitable Texas identity in a composition so bold and immediately recognizable that it became an instant fan favorite among collectors the very day it dropped. The obverse carries the standard Washington portrait by John Flanagan, as on all state quarters. But make no mistake, the real story on this coin is everything happening on that reverse. and every single detail was scrutinized, celebrated, and fought over by collectors who understood immediately that they were holding something special. Now let's talk numbers. Embrace yourself. Because the mintage figures for the 2004 Texas State Quarter are absolutely staggering in scale. Yet paradoxically, that massive production run is exactly what makes the rare varieties so shockingly valuable by contrast. The Philadelphia Mint struck an eye-watering 278,800,000 examples of the 2004 Texas Quarter, while the Denver Mint hammered out an equally breathtaking 263 million coins bearing the D Mint mark, combining for a total circulation strike mintage of over 541 million pieces, making this one of the highest electoral state quarters in the entire program. And in the world of numismatics, high mintage generally means low individual value for circulated examples, right? Well, not so fast, because here is where the story gets truly wild, because buried within that ocean of 500 million coins are era coins, struck varieties, and high-grade survivors that have sent collectors into an absolute frenzy. And the auction results will make your jaw hit the floor. The San Francisco Mint, the home of proof coinage, struck 2,740,684 clad proof examples of the 2004 Texas Quarter and an additional 1,789,488 silver proof specimens. And it is those silver proofs, those mirror-like cameo frosted treasures struck in beautiful 90% silver, that command serious respect in the collecting community, with pristine examples graded PR7, ODPA7, ODPCS or NGC, routinely selling for premium prices that leave casual observers completely stunned. But the coins that make serious collectors lose their minds entirely are the error specimens, the dramatic, freakish, once-in-a-lifetime mistakes that slipped through the United States Mint's quality control and made it into circulation. Coins, like the rare and utterly spectacular double-die errors on the 2004 Texas Quarter, where misalignment during the striking process caused design elements to appear doubled and ghost-like, creating a visual effect so haunting and so beautiful that era collectors will pay extraordinary premiums to possess them. Off-center strikes, coins where the planchette was fed into the press at a catastrophic angle, causing the design to be violently off-center with a crescent of blank metal exposed on one side, are among the most visually arresting era coins in the entire State Quarters series, and well-documented examples of 2004 Texas off-center strikes have appeared at heritage auctions and stacks Bowers galleries with realized prices that would stun anyone who assumed state quarters were just pocket change. Broad-struck examples, where the retaining collar failed and the coin expanded beyond its normal diameter like a metallic pancake. And die-cap errors, among the rarest and most bizarre striking errors in American coinage, have also been documented in the Texas Quarter series. And when these monsters surface at major auction houses, the bidding wars that erupt are the stuff of numismatic legend. For circulation strikes in high grades, the 2004P and 2004D Texas Quarters in MS67 or above are genuinely elusive because while hundreds of millions were made, most were tossed into cash registers, rattled around in car consoles, and subjected to the brutal, merciless battering of everyday commerce that destroys luster, nicks rims, and wipes away the razor-sharp detail that graders at PCGS and NGC demand for the highest Sheldon scale grades. An MS68 example, a coin that somehow survived from the mint's presses to your hands in virtually flawless condition. With blazing original luster, needle-sharp strike, and absolutely no detracting marks is a coin so extraordinarily rare. In that grade that the PCGS population report shows only a tiny handful of examples have ever been certified that high. And those coins, when they surface at heritage auctions or stacks Bowers, trigger bidding wars among advanced registry set collectors who will pay premiums that dwarf the face value of this quarter by a factor that will genuinely shock you. The collecting community around the 50-state Quarter series has never wavered. If anything, it has intensified with the passage of time. As a new generation of collectors discovers these coins, as era varieties become harder to find in the wild, and as the finest certified examples become increasingly concentrated in elite registry collections, never to return to the open market for years or even decades at a time. The 2004 Texas State Quarter also carries enormous sentimental and cultural weight that fuels collector demand in ways that pure mintage statistics cannot fully explain. Texas is not just a state, it is a mythology, a legend, a place where the American spirit of independence, toughness, and pride burns hotter than anywhere else on earth, and that identity is stamped directly into every one of those 500 million coins, in a way that resonates deeply with collectors who love American history as much as they love American coinage. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist with a decade of auction catalogs on your shelf, A brand new collector who just pulled your first interesting quarter out of pocket change and felt that electric spark of excitement for the very first time. Or simply someone who has a jar of old coins gathering dust and is suddenly wondering whether there is hidden treasure inside. The 2004 Texas State Quarter is a coin that rewards attention, rewards careful examination, and rewards the kind of passionate, knowledgeable collecting that turns a hobby into a lifelong obsession. So go through your change, check those old jars, pull out your magnifier, and start looking. Because the next great Texas era coin discovery could be sitting right in front of you, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone exactly like you to find it. If this video fired you up about the incredible world of state quarter collecting and era coin hunting, then smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single coin video. Drop your most exciting Texas quarter find in the comments below because we absolutely love reading your stories. And share this video with every coin collector you know, because on this channel, we never stop hunting, we never stop learning, and we never stop finding the extraordinary hidden inside the ordinary. Asterisk, if you are sitting on a 2004 Texas State Quarter and you want to squeeze every single dollar out of it, here is exactly what you do first. Never, ever sell it raw at a flea market or to a random dealer who will lowball you into the ground. Instead, take that coin straight to PCGS or NGC for professional grading, because a certified MS67 or PR70 Deep Cameo example can multiply your return by 10, 20, even 50 times compared to an ungraded coin. And if you spot any doubling, an off-center strike, or any weird anomaly on that coin, treat it like gold, because certified era coins on eBay and heritage auctions regularly sell for hundreds of dollars to obsessed era collectors who will outbid each other into a frenzy, listed on heritage auctions or Stacksbowers for the absolute highest realized prices. Or launch it on eBay with a 7-day auction and no reserve to let the market go wild. Always photograph it under bright light showing both sides in razor-sharp detail, because stunning photos are the difference between $20 and $200. Now, go get paid. And subscribe for more coin selling secrets every single week.